and welcome back. So this is the second part of the interviews. We are talking to bursary holders at Namibia Media Holdings. With me is the beautiful Mariselle Stofberg.
Hi.
Mariselle, how are you today?
Fine, thank you, Jeannie. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So can you briefly just touch on what your educational background is and working at Namibia Media Holdings?
Definitely. So I studied communication studies at the Northwest University in Potchefstroom. So I did a 3-year course and then I decided to do my honors in corporate communications, also at NWU. And of course, that was made possible due to the bursary that I got from NMH. And then during the time that I studied, every vacation or holiday, I would come back, and then for 3 weeks or so, I would work to gain some practical experience. And then after my studies were completed, I then came back home, and then I started working at NMH. So this is actually my 3rd year, I think, that I'm working. So time flies when you're having fun.
Definitely. So can you just also tell us what is it that you do at NMH?
So currently I am part of the My Zone team, obviously the best, and we are the youth brand. So I am currently also a part of the Zone, coordinating the Zone publication. And then also I'm responsible for our kiddie show, Active Kids. I'm very passionate about that. And that is a show that's aired daily for pre-primary up until grade 3 learners. So I also coordinate that. I also work with the Junior magazine, which recently came out. So I also coordinated that with some assistants from my team as well. They were so amazing. And yeah, I do what needs to be done, and I also coordinate schools. So I have 5 or 6 schools that I coordinate. So yeah, busy bee.
Doing the most, absolutely. So during these 3 years, Mariselle, what was one of your experiences that stood out?
I think the first thing I would like to highlight was while I was doing my interning or shadowing while I was studying, because I think that's something that kind of speaks to our industry. And the one thing about media is how unpredictable it is. You can never go to office thinking that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to do. That's what I will be doing today. Then I'll sit back, I'll drink a cup of tea, I'll eat a cookie, and then no, life never happens that way. So while I was interning, we were sitting in a morning meeting, and then I interned or shadowed at Republikein, and then they came in telling us, there is a very big thing happening, and they want a journalist to go. And then one of our journalists, Tanya, she asked if one of the interns wanted to go with, and I was like, yes, I'm going. And then the whole story was in one of the informal settlements in Windhoek, there was apparently 2 kids that were kidnapped. And the guy was keeping them in his house. So yeah, and obviously I was still in university, and this sounded like something out of like Carte Blanche or something. So we were there, and I rushed because I just wanted to go see what was happening. And then when we came to the scene, there were already about 500 to 1,000 people gathered around one house. And people started throwing stones because they were very angry because this guy literally took 2 kids. He kidnapped 2 kids. And while we were standing there, we kind of started hearing what the people were saying. And they were saying, no, this guy keeps bodies in his house. And I don't know, they were very, very, very bad things happening. And we thought, why don't we investigate a bit more? So while we were standing there, actually the truth that came out was that these children were running past his house and they were throwing stones. And then they broke one of the windows. And they've done it before and they've ran away. So what he just did is he lightly grabbed them and just waited for them with their parents so that he could ask the parents to kind of help because they broke his windows. And then people just assumed he was kidnapping the kids because he was had a history of kidnapping children for some reason. That's what people thought.
Wow.
And people have this funny way of when they get excited, they kind of get carried away. So then after they were throwing stones, later it was like 2,000 people around this one house. And people were throwing stones, but I don't know, Namibians have a way of throwing stones, not like directly. They throw it up for some reason, and then you assume it's going to go far, and then it just doesn't. So there were stones everywhere, and the police came and they threw tear gas. I got tear gas in my eyes. But when I walked back into the office, people were clapping hands and they were like, now you're a journalist because you got tear gassed.
Imagine.
Imagine.
So like once we all die from journalism, then we're definitely journalists.
At least you got tear
At
gas.
least you got yes, yeah. Thank you so much, Mariselle. And yes, it was awesome talking to you.
Thank you.